You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for The Walking Dead. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip about The Walking Dead. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for The Walking Dead.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another podcast of Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 7, aptly titled, Pretty Much Dead Already. I'm your host, John Comerford. I'm joined by Phil Svitek and Ben Bottomley. Okay, before we get into what everybody's a buzz about with respect to the ending of the show, and everybody, the blogospheres are going crazy about it, let's talk about the Shane aspect of it, because I think pretty much Shane drives this particular episode. Without Shane and the ticking time bomb that he is, I don't think we would have the ending that everybody seemed to enjoy. So what did you guys think about Shane's performance in this? As a character, I mean...
As a character,
yes, absolutely.
I absolutely loved him. Ben, before I say my bit, what are your thoughts?
I thought he was very good tonight, you know. I wasn't ready to speak.
Well, here's what I thought was interesting is that he's always been this guy that, very impulsive and ready to use the gun at any moment. And he's been arguing that Rick's not ready for this world. And this was his way of finally demonstrating it. And, this could have happened a couple episodes ago. I don't know why it took so long to do this, but that's why I think everybody's really happy that it did finally happen, because we've been waiting and waiting for this thing to come to a head, and it finally did.
Well, it's good that, I don't know how the comics goes. Ben knows better than I do because
Yes.
he actually read them.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, if Shane was killed off,
Yes.
Obviously this would never happen. And I think Shane felt the frustration of the audience, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Literally was like, something has to happen, and I'm going to make it.
That's right. He felt somehow the character felt the angst of the audience waiting. Why isn't anything happening?
Yeah.
I need to do something to make this show exciting.
Yeah. But I thought that it was a nice build-up because, you'd seen it boiling for the last couple episodes, and he's been confronting Rick every step of the way, saying, look, let's move on. Let's get out of here. Let's do X, Y, or Z, but let's stop just sitting around waiting. And he, finally confronting Carol, Sophie's mother, about how Sophia's not alive. Let's just face it. And saying everything that we've been saying all along as an audience, going, would somebody just wake up? I've been joking that The Walking Dead happened to be our cast for the last 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Because they're just walking around in a fog, not knowing what to do and being stuck at this farm. And what was nice is we got to see it all resolved, but they carried Shane's anger and his angst throughout the whole show, so that we could be boiling, wait, and I thought they did a nice job because you could see it going to happen. I mean, I thought he was going to take off. I thought he was going to do something really nasty to Daryl right there.
Yeah.
Because he's already shot Otis. What would be, Dale's out there hiding guns in the swamp. It's not really too much of a step. It's not a long walk for Shane to just haul off and just kill him, hide his body, and be done with it.
Yeah. I thought he might do that, but I'm glad he didn't. But
no, I'm glad he didn't too, but because I like Dale. But
yeah.
I thought for sure he was going to do more than just what he did. So anybody think for a second that Dale might take him out?
I did for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I thought he might have died there because, well, I mean, as I've said in the books, he's killed almost instantly. So I figured.
Yeah, you think he's taking?
But
Here's
why
the
not kill him
disappointing
in the show,
point.
too?
IMDb.
Yeah.
They already have all 19 episodes, season 1
Yeah,
and season 2 included. So
Yeah.
I was like, well, he's not gonna die.
No, he's not going to.
So that's what kind of gave it away.
Well, and you can't now at this point because he's the only one really causing a bunch of conflict. I mean, he's not the only one, but he's the one that's driving most of the conflict, that's the only thing that's actually making anything dramatic. Everything else is kind of like, really, we're still looking for Sophie. So, and thankfully it finally paid off this week. But 6 episodes, and it's a long time to wait for Sophie to come back.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, this whole mid-season was
Yes.
the search for Sophie.
Well, speaking of Sophie, last week as in our predictions, I was predicting that they have to bring Sophie back, and she's going to be a walker. So they have to be faced with the fact of what to do with her.
Did
And-
we predict that? But we
Yeah.
never
Yeah, we
predict.
did.
We never
Yeah.
predicted this. How did we not predict this?
What do you mean?
We didn't predict she'd be in the barn.
We didn't predict being
but
in
we
the
did
barn.
predict that
This is
she'd
why I
come
didn't,
back.
and this is why I think that was a horrible choice. We didn't predict she'd be in the barn because. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They didn't tell her that she's in the barn.
She was there the whole
They knew
time.
who they were looking for. They knew it was a little girl, and they knew they had a little girl in the barn. How could they not say something? How could you not say something for 5 episodes that she's in the barn?
That's yeah.
I mean, do you think that would have helped Hershel's case to drive them out of there? Because
Yes, absolutely.
yeah. I mean, they were there trying to find Sophia.
Or,
so that
or
they
it
could
would have
move
helped his
on.
case to say, look, I'm not going to kill these people. This is your daughter. You shouldn't kill her.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And
It
either
would've
way,
helped
it's
either
like, how
way.
can the writers and produce anybody was like, what are you thinking? Like, I'm supposed to believe that they had her in the barn the whole time and never said anything?
You know what would have been funny is if in the middle of the night they just kind of obviously they wanted to keep the barn secret, so you
Right,
can still
yeah.
do that, but you just kind of take her out in
Mm-hmm.
the middle of the night and just let her off into the into their
Just
camp.
let her go shoot.
No, not back into the woods, but
Just
onto
let her
the
off
camp.
into the camp. Uh-huh.
You know, of Rick and Shane and the rest
Yeah,
of the guys.
that would be an interesting way to,
And,
to
like,
get her out of there and how they administrate that. That would have been interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so forgetting my problem with the logic there, and I just didn't buy that for a second. I love the fact that they finally brought her back. That she was in the barn, yeah, it didn't work for me. But I'm glad that she was there. I'm glad that
It worked for the rest of the world.
It did work for this world, but that's okay. I mean, again, I like that they did it finally. I'm glad they did bring her back. It was about time. Took way too damn long for her to come back, but she's
But
back.
I don't want to talk about that yet,
Okay,
John.
all
I
right,
have
all right.
all this. You're ruined.
Fine.
See, this is
Okay.
like the all-encompassing. This must be
Fine.
the ending note.
Yeah, because we want to wait to the ending. Okay, fine, Phil. What would you like to discuss at this moment?
Well, the comedy aspect of all of this for me has always been Glenn.
Okay, right. Yeah, he is definitely the.
Or should we change it to Asian boy?
yeah,
No?
That's what I'm gonna call him
that's
now.
what Hershel calls an Asian boy. All right, so yeah, he's our comic relief.
And
So-
he is. You know what? In that
But
moment,
I didn't think this one was that funny. I mean, he's definitely been funny in other episodes. This one was not.
it wasn't as funny, but
But they did put egg on his head.
they did.
Yeah.
And Hershel was the matter of the fact when they were speaking,
Yeah.
and he almost thought, okay, fine, I'll let the Asian boy stay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fine, you get one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
You get one. You want to
That's
pick
how
him,
this
fine.
works?
That's right, yeah.
So,
So.
it
And
was.
what about Maggie? It just drives me nuts. She's angry here. Okay, there. Angry. It's like, would you please make up your mind?
Yeah.
Ben,
I agree.
Ben, you are learning about women.
The show is teaching me everything I need to know about life.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do. We look to Walking Dead to learn everything we can
But-
about life.
You know, I think Glenn centralized obviously the notion of are the walkers dead or alive
Right.
very nicely by saying
He doesn't care whether they're dead or alive. What he cares is that they're dangerous, and
yes,
it doesn't matter.
and that secrets get you killed.
That's right. Which is the first time that's actually come up.
Yeah.
And we've been keeping secrets. What was it? Was it 2 episodes or was it last
It was
episode?
last episode
It
was called
Secrets.
Secrets.
Yeah, with all the secrets that came out last week. Secrets get you dead. And of course, he said that to Maggie because he's trying to profess that he cares for her. I'd rather have you pissed at me and be alive than dead because I can't remember the exact way he said it, but.
Yeah.
And then of course that's all it worked. That's all she needed. And then she's back on his good side again.
and at least I
Dames
looked at
is
Ben.
trouble.
I looked at Ben and I knew exactly. I was like, they're gonna kiss right now.
Yep.
And Ben was like, he kind of not. I don't know. I can't read Ben's reactions.
Yeah.
I don't have reactions.
There you go.
Great.
I think
poker
Ben's
player.
our walker.
That's right.
Proves the case that you know what,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
They kind of may or may not. I don't know.
He's our walker.
Ben, if you're live by the end of this, it's a good day for everybody.
All right. So, is there any more to speak to about the Glenn and the Maggie thing? Because for me, I mean, it is a comic relief moment. It's the only human thing they had this time. Okay, let's just move on because I have nothing else to talk about. I have to get to this only because it just flashed in my brain. Why is it every time we have an important scene to do with Lori, she's out in the field somewhere? I mean, she's when
just in the
she
middle
has
of
to pee on a
nowhere.
stick, she doesn't go into the bathroom. She does it way out in the
She
field
goes
somewhere.
into the middle of nowhere.
She's chopping carrots for no reason. Apparently, she's way out in the middle of the field where nothing's around her, and she's brought a pan and a bucket to sit on, and that's where she decides she wants to cut carrots.
Yeah.
What
Is there a metaphor behind this?
I don't know. It just makes it's like, what is she
Is
doing
it that
way
the
out
world
there?
is that is their world?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's a
like
world
what,
of nothingness.
What, sitting at the camp wasn't nice on the picnic table or something. No, I'm gonna carry the bucket. I'm gonna carry sit out way out to this field area and start cutting my carrots.
I think she
What the
wanted the
hell
tree
is that?
stump because it was a pretty good cutting board.
Oh, yeah. Was that a tree stump? Is
Yeah,
that what she was
I
cutting
think
on?
so.
All right. Okay.
Probably, sure.
All right. Maybe. I guess that's it then. It was a tree stump. I just find it so comical every time she's doing something important. Gotta go out in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know what to think about that.
all right. Well, moving on from that.
But I mean, well, I guess to give it some sort of meaning, it just goes to represent that they have to get out of there, that they're not allowed at the, it's the literal distancing from the house.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They're not meant to be in that house.
Yeah, I know, but they're in the camp. The camp's not at the house, so it's like you're making
but
you're still the metaphor. I mean,
But the camp represents the house.
oh, does it? I'm sorry, I didn't read into that.
I don't know.
Hence, there's a house and a camp. That's why I didn't read into that. All right, let's talk about Hershel and Rick and their argument, and Rick's request to stay, and their arguments that they get into about why they can't stay, why they shouldn't stay, and of course Rick drops the bomb about Lori being pregnant.
Which I like how he uses that to win all his arguments
Yeah.
in this episode.
Yeah, he did it with Hershel, and then he did it with Shane. So, and it was almost like, well, it didn't
Is it-
really
is it
work
to-
with Hershel.
It's not. There's got to be a better adjective or whatever than win. Like, it's not that he was using it to win. It's just like to gain I don't know. I don't know what the exact word is.
Well, it's leverage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to be a lot less likely to kick us out if he knows that one of us, my wife is pregnant.
Yeah.
There's a baby on the way, so.
He won.
But in the Hershel versus Rick argument,
Yeah.
as opposed to the Shane versus Rick argument,
Right.
he articulated much better, where he said, a baby out there is a curse. In
Right.
here,
It's
it's
a
a
gift.
blessing gift. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and being, as he was reading his Bible, Hershel was reading his Bible as Rick walked in. He was, playing on that aspect of it. And of course, Maggie continues that argument. And she can't believe that he's making this decision to kick him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, there was something about their argument which was great. I didn't know anything about Maggie's backstory, so that was nice that we heard a little bit about what their relationship was prior to all this happening.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that. Did you guys know that, all that stuff?
I certainly
She was
didn't.
a troubled teen and all that other stuff.
No,
I thought that was
To
great.
be honest, I didn't understand a word she said
What?
both times I watched it.
What?
I don't know. I just couldn't understand her accent.
You don't understand
or
women
something.
yet, or you just didn't understand
No, I
the English
literally
language?
didn't
or?
understand what she said.
No,
Oh,
this
okay.
is the problem with young kids.
Uh-huh.
They don't listen. They literally can't hear adults. It's not that they don't want to. They cannot.
The physically impossible is what you're
Yes.
saying. It's biologically they have a problem with their hearing because it's not at the right tone or something.
I'm not even gonna go into that.
We just
It's
ask his parents. I'm
it's
sure
the
they'll
youth.
have the same. It's the youth of today. Yes, they can hear.
Yes. But it was in terms of her. That's part of what I like about the show is obviously you don't get a lot of backstory.
Right.
Um,
But I thought that was just enough because she was making the argument that look, I was this way and you taught me to be this way, and now you're a hypocrite.
yeah. And a
Because
lot
you're
of the
going back
stuff, everyone's kind of using that whole thing. A lot of the backstory that we do get is
Yeah.
about the change from what it was to what it is
Before-
now,
yeah.
and how you changed along with that.
Yeah.
And for better or for worse. you
And
know,
well,
it's-
and then if you carry that, extrapolate that to the next argument, which is between Shane and Rick, is that Shane is saying you're not ready for this world. This world that you remember is no more, and you worked in that world, but you don't work in this world, and that's what that argument was about.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't in this episode wasn't it the first time that Shane actually said that he wasn't great in the old world either? Because they had to, I forget.
Oh yeah, he said that with Lori.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he
'cause
didn't say
it was
to
that
Rick.
one mission, and
Yeah, and he got somebody killed or hurt or whatever
Yeah.
that was. Yeah.
so interesting that this is a pattern.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, if Rick, Rick was that bad, Shane, why is it taking him so long to do this? This is just driving me crazy. It's like, why is it taking so long to get to these things?
Yeah.
because it was, seething, whatever. Yeah, I've made that argument a couple of times. But now with the Rick and Shane altercation, I should say, coming to a head, what do you think about that? Do you think Rick can manage in this kind of world, or do you think you have to be a Shane type personality to lead in this world?
I think you can manage like Rick, but you just have to be more definitive. What I liked was finally that Rick, he was forced to do something.
Right.
And again, I think Glenn said it best: secrets get us killed. And had Rick sort of known this information about the walkers, etc., it would have quickened the process.
Right.
And as he said, he said to Hershel, "I don't want to debate. We need to discuss." And that's been the problem for most of this. No one's known information from anyone. No one's this episode opens up with them at their own little camp, and no one says a goddamn word. That's the problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have this perfect opportunity. It's not like you're in the size of America where it's tough to communicate with the East Coast and the West Coast, etc., and then get information out.
Right.
Like, you could literally just say like whatever fancies, and like no one's gonna think you dumb. But even if it's a random thought.
But let me go back to that point, because Dale also makes the same point when he's talking with Shane, and Shane wants the guns back. He's saying, look, you belong in this world of monsters and demons, because even though I'm not willing to kill, you belong here, and at least I'm not going to lose myself in this new world. So he makes the argument too, is that he's trying to say that, yeah, Shane, you do belong in this world, and even though I have to live here, I'm not going to become it.
Yeah.
So that's the same argument as Shane making on the other side, with saying that Rick's not ready for this world and can't lead in this world, etc. So, but what do we think? I mean, that's the argument that we all have to, as we're watching this, if we're going to take that to our own lives, what would we do? What kind of person, what kind of society would we create in this world? Would we want, is might make right? I mean, do we go back to that kind of philosophy, or does the rule of law hold still? I mean, that's what it opens up.
It does. I mean, I think, again, Rick. It was interesting, it was Shane versus Rick, and then Rick versus Hershel, or whatever, because it gave, like a full argument, in the sense that with Rick and Hershel, he literally said, we have to stick together. We are alive. Right. Let's build upon that community. Whereas Shane, he literally wants to break up this community.
Yeah, he does.
This creation by destruction.
Yeah, and in his mind, you whatever you have to do, you have to do, and it doesn't, whatever you become in that process, that's just too bad. That's how you have to survive. Yeah. Which is definitely more animalistic. Yeah. I mean, in order to survive, and there's an argument to be made that that's in this world. Yeah, that might be what you have to do, but I don't know that you can't do both. Meaning, there is a point where he didn't have to open up the barn. Yeah. They could have secured the barn easier.
Yeah, that's what it took.
And not shot everybody. I guess in his mind,
that would have been boring.
It would have been boring. True. Thank you very much for adding that. But my point is like he's kind of disproving his point at the same time. Yeah. That was not the only way to make them safe. And then, do you want to lose? Do you want to become more animalistic in that world and become all about? Because when does that slippery slope stop? Because he's already shot Otis. I mean, he's clearly going down a path where human life doesn't mean much to him anyway. Yeah,
I mean he is drawn towards chaos, whereas Rick is drawn to a sense of community, structure, etc. Right.
And then let me ask the point here then: which is a better society, or which is more capable of surviving and thriving? A community that pulls together and not breaks ranks, but or I guess is that the term? Okay, well, circles the wagons around each other, or the kind that says, "Hey, screw it, we're all for ourselves." And the survival of the fittest holds.
I think the community that sticks together.
Yeah,
because again, each of you has a strength and a weakness,
right?
And it's going to even out. But again, the problem is that only going back to Greek society, it only comes to fruition if everyone is educated.
Right.
And how does that happen? You can't have secrets.
Well, I would agree with that. It doesn't make sense to have secrets. I don't know what you're having. What's the reason for the secrets?
And especially that's what's the tough part is. It's a perfect illustration of the fact that you have 10 people here, and it's tough. Like you guys can't be truthful about everything. with 10 people,
Yeah.
who by through no fault of your own, this is happenstance that you got paired with these people.
Right.
But like, okay,
But you're here.
well, who you going to choose?
Yeah,
otherwise?
exactly. And don't you need Rick and a Shane in your group?
Yeah.
Don't you need reason and don't you need violence when you need violence? I mean, if you're in that kind of environment, at some point, every once in a while, you might want to turn to Shane and go, "Hey, Shane, could you take care of these?"
That's what I think. You keep saying like, who do you think like needs to lead, or who do you need? I think you need both of them, really.
Uh-huh.
I think you need Rick as a voice of reason sometimes, and for scenarios like this where they're safe, but
Yeah.
say no spoilers, but say they have to leave the farm,
Yeah.
like Rick can't really operate that well in that world of survival.
Yeah, but then again, I'm sorry. Do you mind if I talk about the end just a little bit in a cursory way?
Oh,
Because
yeah, no,
Rick
we're
does
at
step
this.
forward, and he is the one that makes the final shot.
Yeah.
So he is capable.
Mhm.
I mean, I thought for sure they were going to put, since we're talking about it, Sophie, when she comes out of the barn, and Sophie's there, and we go, oh, great, now what are they going to have to do? I thought for sure they were going to somebody was going to turn to Shane and go, okay, go ahead, buddy, take your shot.
Yeah.
Because I would have liked to have put Shane in that spot and have him not take the shot, because all of a sudden it's different now because I know her, and I thought that would have been a great character moment if he didn't take the shot and then Rick took it.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been way more interesting than not give him that opportunity.
Definitely, and one of the scenes that we kind of skipped over was the confrontation between Carl, the son, and Shane,
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yes.
which I thought was pretty pivotal,
Yeah.
but it didn't break Shane nonetheless.
No, of course. Well, yeah, you can't.
And out of all the things that could have, I thought that could have been.
You think
it.
he could have been reached by Carl?
I maybe earlier,
Uh-huh.
let's say like literally probably let's say like a day ago,
Right.
could have happened, or before the news came.
Yeah,
of the zombies.
because he'd already been fuming, and that's
Yeah.
it. But the one thing he did say is, okay, all right, if you think we should stay, all right, we'll stay. But we have to do.
Yeah.
But I assume what he was talking about is if we're gonna stay, we gotta get rid of the walkers.
By the way, Carl, he was a perfect mix of Shane and Rick, because he literally looked exactly like Shane except for the hat,
Really, I didn't notice that. What you mean by what he was wearing?
the clothing. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't notice that. It's nicely done.
Yeah.
Wow, good eyes. Way to go, Phil.
that's right.
I'm sure you noticed that too, Ben. Right? You wrote that down in your notes.
I saw he had a hat.
Did you know it was the father's hat?
I did.
There you go. All right.
Okay.
It was that hat.
Ben's here for color.
But what else was I gonna say? Oh, I thought one of my favorite kind of moments was with the shootout
Right.
when everyone was coming out. Right, Rick's holding the zombie,
Right. Yeah.
and Shane makes Rick's decision pretty easy by turning around and just
Just
there
shoot.
you
You
go.
guys just taking
All
him
right,
down.
now you get to you don't have
Yeah.
to hold him back.
Exactly. But speaking of that, what did you guys think they had to go out and fish the walkers out of the muck? I thought that was great.
I thought it was great, and again, it's just so much trouble to bring
Right.
these things in.
So this is what they've been doing. Anytime they find a walker just stranded somewhere, they haul him in and put him in the barn.
Yeah.
So especially, and of course, Hershel recognized at least one of them,
Mm-hmm.
and then they had those things the poles that they use to get stray dogs and put them in. That's what they use. And I thought, wow, they are basically just animals.
And was again, I don't know what to think necessarily in terms. I don't know. It is a very tough decision about
To
are they
bring
real?
them.
Are
Yeah.
they real?
Oh, that-
or do
yeah.
you kill them? But Shane, I think,
I-
made a very good argument.
Shane
Yeah,
made a
I
great
think
argument.
Shane
It's-
made the point pretty well.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
put 6 bullets in it and it's still coming at you.
Right.
Is that really a person?
Yeah.
That's not even an animal, though.
That's
Yeah,
You
true.
know what I
What
mean? Like,
is that?
what animal
They're-
can you shoot?
They're pretty much dead already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very, I don't know, descriptive. It was very, it made it very easy to understand. Even Maggie got it. Of course,
Yeah.
she'd been attacked, but still, there's something. Yes, they're not human as we know human, but what if there was some simple little antidote? I mean, I'm sure that's what Hershel's thinking. I mean, let's just say that, you know. Yeah.
But okay, so what was going through Hershel's mind? I mean, after that, he just shut down.
He just shut down, completely. Because I mean, every hope he might have had for the Walkers in terms of this is my wife, my stepson, all that other stuff, gone in an instant. Because now there's no possible.
All dead.
They're all dead for real.
Maybe Shane's words got to him.
Yeah. So. I mean, and how could they not? I mean, honestly, I mean, he was somewhat in denial, I would say.
Clear.
Yeah. I mean, and the other thing, he was even working on trying to find some sort of way back for those people now walkers. So, I mean, to keep him around in the barn just seems crazy in some sense. But then again, we all do crazy things if we're in that much denial.
Yeah. I don't know.
So,
there it is.
So we normally talk about this at some point during the show. Best zombie kill? What do we like? Which one do we like?
Well, there was a lot of shooting, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the only one that stood out was the first one where she was proving that these aren't
and going
people
after
anymore.
her and shooting her down
Yeah.
Although that was nice. It was interesting that I liked that they had the shooting gallery. They all just kind of stepped forward and started taking shots.
Shooting at them.
It's like, and it's at that point, I mean, and here's the thing. What I wonder, does any of them? None of them feel particularly badly feel bad or whatever for taking a shot and killing a walker. Not that they should, because in their minds they're not human. But I wonder how difficult. I mean, it certainly wasn't difficult for Andrea, except for that one time, and then boom, the gates are open and she just easily shoots them like crazy. I wonder if that would be difficult.
The first shot?
Just taking the shot. I mean, how difficult would that be?
Didn't look very difficult.
Yeah, I don't think Benjamin had a problem with it.
I don't think he did either.
Of course, for you, it would be a lot like your video games, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think the favorite kill would probably be, for me at least, when they're all focused on shooting them coming out of the barn, and Rick is kind of like, oh, well, what do I do with this one? And Shane just turns around and shoots it in the face, and then
wasn't the last one that Shane killed, didn't it go through one zombie and hit the one behind it? Isn't that
I don't know.
That one shot? That's what it looked like.
It looked like he dropped and then someone else.
Oh, is that what it was? Because to me it looked like, wow, that was nice. He got 2 for 1. So I had to say I kind of like Sophie's. The reason being is I was so tired of her, everybody searching for her. So thank you, finally.
Nice exactly. To see her get shot
exactly.
In the
We can move on from the storyline because I was so.
By the way, I mean, we'll obviously kind of talk about the second part of the season, but this was a very good episode. I feel.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
But the frustrating thing is that this should have been the penultimate episode.
Either that, or it should have been the season. It should be the episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
For me, 3 or 4 would have been great for this. I was like, whoa! It would have tent-poled the whole season, and then you had to come up with something better for the ending. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because it was great, but I was ready for it in episode 4.
Yeah, and that's the really tough part is that now obviously we're gonna spend more time at the farm in February and all this stuff. It should have. Because as we had been predicting, we thought the showdown was gonna be okay. They have to stay or they have to leave, and we were gonna get a decision in tonight's episode.
Yeah,
obviously that didn't happen.
Well, it looks like they're staying.
I guess so.
Well, based on the trailer, they're at least gonna be there for another episode too, and it looks like they're gonna be turning on each other.
Yeah,
which would be nice.
Well, we'll see.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I really don't know where they're going with this.
All right, well, we'll get into that during predictions. Okay, the one thing we haven't talked about is the Daryl and Carol, that little storyline that they got going there. And, I thought that was interesting. I thought the way they handled it. Daryl's an interesting, for me, he's still the most interesting character. Well, Shane and
I like Glenn.
Up there.
Glenn's,
he's definitely getting better. Yeah. But I just like that I like that Daryl doesn't say much, but when he says something, it's pretty cool. And you kind of know where he stands and all that other stuff.
Like what? Like you stupid bitch? Or like what did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, like that. But that's not what I was speaking to. So let's talk about that then. Yeah. It's like, what was that about? Why did he go off on her?
I don't know.
Yeah, that part didn't. I just like, what? Why is he upset?
I don't think it didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah. It didn't
I think he's upset because...
he's holding on hope and the mother isn't even holding on any hope.
Yeah. is for the fact that he's gone to such measures to do this, and he's committed to doing it, and you know, he's one of the people that hasn't giving up hope is the easier thing to do.
Sure, I know, but here's the thing:
And
if
then-
you make a commitment like that, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. That's why I was like, "What the hell you care? Go out and find her, prove her wrong."
But for the mother to give up hope, he was really just frustrated with her. Obviously,
Right.
because you know, as a mother, like
Yeah.
you know, I don't know, maybe it just rang too much close to home, where like his parents, you know, obviously, and his brother, they really didn't take care of him, and they pretty much gave up on him in the figurative sense.
Well, that's true. That's true. But he did apologize.
He did.
So, that was good. Yeah. And he found another Cherokee rose. Is that the flower? Cherokee
That's what
rose.
it was
so
called.
that's why he knew they'd find her. And as soon as I saw the rose, I go, "Good, thank God she's coming back, and she's coming back
They're
as a
gonna find
zombie."
Well, they found her.
Well, kinda. We found part of her.
Most of her.
Yeah. Most of her. All right. Well, what else we got?
I think that's it.
All right. I don't got anything else. Anything else?
No.
Benjamin? All right. Well, then we'll take us to
Never.
our first commercial. Let's go.
AFTERBUZZ TV. Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And, like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you, Rich.
Well, before we get to the news and gossip, I wanted to kind of save this for a special segment, but this episode, one of the reasons that I did like it and I thought it worked very well was it was directed by Breaking Bad's Michelle McLaren.
There you go.
She's an executive producer for that show.
Yes.
And
obviously, you learned a lot from that show. Brought it to this particular episode, that's for sure.
yeah, I felt, you know, that's why I felt although there was a lot of talking, obviously not a lot of action happened until like literally Ben and I looked at our watches and we're like,
same.
something we're on minute 48.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Something
yeah.
has to happen.
Yeah.
And obviously it did, but the dramatic scenes were a lot more dramatic.
They were more interesting, and they also had much better camera shots. I just thought. I mean, you know, I didn't know that when I first watched it, and now that when you mentioned it to me earlier, I went, oh, well, that's probably why we had those camera angles that we
Right.
did, and I thought those were interesting.
Like
Yeah.
the one of Shane from the top of the barn.
Exactly, those
Yeah.
kinds of things and stuff. I thought that was nice, and you know, she did a couple nice, really cool things. Is Rick walking right into camera as a cut, and that was nice. And then pointing the gun right at camera and all that. There had a couple of really nice moments.
Or the one with Lori in the field.
Laurie in the field, yeah. Okay, besides that one.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, she has to stick to the
Yeah.
Bible of the show,
whatever
and
that
so she
is.
can't have full leverage
No.
on it, whatever she wants.
So what do we got for news and gossip, gentlemen?
News and gossip.
News and gossip.
As
Waiting
read by
for-
Ben
waiting for
Bottomley.
Ben, are you gonna read
Bumper, but I guess we're not getting the bumper.
that?
So,
Here it is.
There you go.
oh, there it is. There's not much news, mostly just reviews and such of the episode. And oh my God, Sophia got shot in the face. So we've there are 3 pretty interesting interviews for you guys to read. There is one on
Between now and February.
yeah,
you guys
you've
have a
got
lot of time to
a lot
kill.
of time to read. So there is one on dailydead.com. Showrunner Glenn Mazzara responds to recent complaints, and he talks about the controversy that arose.
Came up.
Thank you. Came up from last week's episode, Secrets, I believe it was. He said, the producers and writers of The Walking Dead are fully aware that the morning after pill would not induce an abortion or miscarriage. We exercised our artistic creative license to explore a storyline with one of our characters, not to make any pro-life or pro-choice political statement. We sincerely hope that people are not turning to the fictional world of The Walking Dead for accurate medical information. So that's a pretty interesting interview if you want to go read.
It's surprising that somebody would turn to a TV show for accurate information, but you know that people do, unfortunately.
But like,
they want to know how to kill walkers.
But I don't understand his thing. We're not a pro-life or pro-choice political statement. I know it's not. They're not necessarily making a definitive one. But at the end of the day, the whole point of stories, you do make a statement on something.
Right.
Especially with Walking Dead, the whole point is that it's an apocalyptic, after that, a society, and then like it's supposed to be representative of everything, government,
but I don't
society,
think
et cetera, et cetera.
I think what he's saying is that we weren't trying to make a personal statement about our politics. We were just saying this character is going through this situation, and that's what she chose to do, rather than to say, I think this is what our society should do.
Yes.
I think that's the point he's making.
That is what he says in the interview.
Yeah.
Which you should read. The
Will
next
do.
one.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome. The next one is on dailyblam.com, and it is titled The Walking Dead. Sarah Wayne Callies shares her thoughts on Rick and Shane's impending friction. And she just gives her opinion on what's been going on lately in the show. And she says, quite frankly, one of the reasons that she considered terminating the pregnancy is because it has the ability to tear these men apart. And that has huge implications, not just to her personal life, but to everyone's safety. There's a part of her that's afraid they might kill each other. This is the kind of thing men kill each other over. So, I guess she...
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Read it. The next one, last one we're sharing, is on fearnet.com, and it is Greg Nicotero on the future of The Walking Dead. And
any spoiler alerts here?
Maybe, potentially a
no,
little,
no
not
spoiler
too
alert.
much. He kind of gives a little hint saying Hershel's farm is a little bit of a safe haven, so the advantage is that in the second half of the season we'll get a little bit more zombie action going. I think it's going to be great. I hate that I have to wait. That's I hate that I have to wait for the middle of February for people to see it, because the second half of the season is mind-blowing. I hope he's right.
Well,
what happened to the first?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I think he kind of hinted that they're leaving Hershel's farm.
Yeah,
maybe.
well, and the other thing was I think he's actually a tacit confirmation that the second half will be mind-blowing because they know that the first half wasn't.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are going to come and say, no, really, watch the second half.
Yeah,
It's great.
Yeah, please, come back. All right, so we'll go quick, well, two other quick commercials. We got, here at AfterBuzz, we got about 25 hours of programming a week for different shows, and we rarely ask for anything, but here's what we like from you, for your listeners. Please tell friends about us, like us on Facebook, tweet about us, do whatever you have to. We need to get some eyes and ears. We want people listening. We want people calling in. So help us out in that regard. We would appreciate that. And secondly, one of our very own, Michelle Macedo. She's the host of X Factor right now, Boardwalk Empire, South Park. She does a lot of work for us around here. We want her to get some promotion out of this. Right now, she currently has an album out. It's debuting on radio and places like stations called KCRW, things like that. You can find it on iTunes. And she has a show coming up on Thursday, December 1st at 8 p.m. at the Falcon on Sunset Boulevard. And we wanted everybody to know that. So if you're available, go see her on Thursday, December 1st at 8 p.m. And tickets are half off if you like her on Facebook at Macedo Music. If you, what else we do is you have to...
Twitter.
Yes,
Twitter.
Thank you, yes.
Follow her on Twitter.
Yeah.
And
give her a good review at iTunes, and also like her on youtube.com at Macedo Entertainment.
Subscribe to her.
So
And by the way, that's one of the reasons that we're kind of going back to our promoting.
Yeah.
Is we want this to what AfterBuzz really wants to be is a community for fans, and so the more people you invite to that community, the more it benefits all of us.
Yeah.
Us as hosts and you guys as fans, because we'll start to incorporate more and more information that you guys are feeding us, which we've been doing.
Yes, and thank you very much for writing in your comments. We appreciate that. It always is helpful, and it's good to know who's listening and what they are liking and what they're not liking. That's very helpful. So please keep doing that as well. Thank you so much.
So yes.
Okay, we're good. Anything else?
Well, it's been a.
We gotta
We got to go to
predictions.
predictions. Yes,
Predictions?
predictions.
Anything else on the commercial front?
That's
Nothing. Good. Predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right. We got.
Well, we don't come back till February.
We won't come back till February, and we got season 2.5. I mean, what is it? 3?
Two reduced.
Yeah, exactly. They're calling it the second half of the season.
The better season 2.
The better half of the season. So, well, all I can guess is from the trailer, it looks like they're going to be turning on each other. And I don't know if they're just pimping that because it might be interesting or that really is happening. But my guess is they're going to drive a stronger and stronger wedge between Shane and Rick, and then might start having 2 different camps. And how are they going to work together so you can get some
Totally random
conflict and some struggle in there? What's that?
Totally random thought, but
Okay, go ahead.
Here's what they should have done.
Oh.
They should have literally, like, season 2 should have been them at the camp, etc., etc.,
Yeah.
and, like, you know, then the mind-blowing stuff and etc. And obviously there's that, you know, there's the year-long wait between episodes, etc.
Uh-huh.
And you could have kept these as kind of, like, throughout as, like, you know, here's what they're doing with their lives in between. So, you know, in case
What,
you
like an
got
episode?
a year.
What do you mean, like an episode? So
Yeah,
they
you
do
know.
you do 6 episodes, and what do you do while you wait
No,
for the
you,
next season?
you
What do
just kind of feed these, not as like episodes,
Uh-huh.
but kind of just like here's how they're kind of progressing throughout life before the season begins. So that way we're
What,
not
you put it
like
on the net? I don't understand what you're saying.
I don't
though.
know.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying that way there's not like a backlash of like this is the season. These, you know, it would have just been literally like this is where they're at with their lives. And then the season 2 is the mind blowing stuff.
Oh, okay, I got you. We're just checking in.
Yeah.
We're just showing you. Here they are cutting carrots in the field.
But I mean, you know, I really would have liked to have seen them make a decision to stay or go in this episode.
Oh, absolutely.
You
And
know,
like I
not-
said, I think that would have been great. I think if you had found Sophie and did the whole barn thing on episode 4, and by the end of the season or whatever, this half season, whatever we're calling it, mid-season,
finale.
yeah, then it was, look, you got to make that decision, stay or go, because then that leaves me. I was like, what's going to happen next season if they're not staying?
Yeah.
Because that would lead you into something at least.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what would have worked for me. This one just. I mean, as much as I enjoyed Sophie coming back, it was just too damn long to get there.
I mean, it was literally 7 episodes, and
That's
You
a
can
lot
never
of episodes.
Yeah.
that's a lot of content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many
I think it was just a
hours.
lot of missed opportunity for some really good, fun, interesting action.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean shooting and all that other stuff. Because, it's just, dribbling it out very slowly. And it just didn't work for me.
And again, if the search for Sophia was kind of more, if it just had more action, more
Yeah.
engaging in the sense
been
like
fine.
we found clues from Sophia. All right, we got to head north.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right, it's 25 miles north. Let's go.
Go. Yeah.
And then
that
you
would've been
you
something.
find this, and
Yeah.
it's like,
And then,
but
oh no, she's been in the barn the whole time. She's been in the barn.
anyway, well, again, I think they ended with a good thing is they ended on a good note. Everyone.
Well, yeah.
Everyone
The
on
smoke
Twitter,
clears and
everyone,
everybody's lying. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was about time.
so,
No, that was great. Absolutely.
so fans love it.
I'm a big fan of that too. I thought that was fabulous. I'm glad they finally did it. That's great. It does make me want to know. Okay, great. Thankfully, okay, now we're done with this. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do next.
I really don't know what they're gonna do next.
That's all I got.
I think
Anything
they,
else?
I think they're gonna leave, and then relocate, and then deal.
Is
with
Are they
new
gonna shoot
problems.
Hershel?
They're not gonna shoot Hershel.
Okay, what was the last thing you get the last word, Ben? That was it. You sounded like a walker.
Pressure.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, joining us again for what are we got here?
Episode 7.
Episode 7. That's right. Episode 7.
Pretty much dead already.
Pretty much dead already. On behalf of Phil Svitek, Ben Bottomley, and Jesse Janity in the booth, we thank you, and we'll see you next time.
February.
Come back.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later, walkers.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.